We should be good now. Sorry about that. No sound, but we're good now. Thankfully, it was only less than 1 minute into this live stream. But like I was saying in the intro, welcome back to another live stream. The market's red hot, so let's not waste any time and get into all of the updates. What I was saying when I was just muted right there was we're going to be going live more frequently, okay, more frequent live streams throughout the day. This way we can get you more pertinent information right at your fingertips more often, but the time is going to be less, okay? So don't expect 1 hour long live streams, but 15, 20 minutes at a time just to get you these updates in a timely manner. That's how we're going to be doing it from now on. All right, so if you guys are a fan of that, if you appreciate that, smash up the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, Crypto Bubble's top 100 right now. Everything is green. Everything. Okay, there is just pumps across the board. Wild times, right? We have coins like XRP making a new all-time high. Here's Dave Portnoy admitting that he sold XRP 2 weeks ago. Okay, Portnoy sold 2 weeks ago now. By the way, Doge also broke our red box. Okay, Doge broke the red box. Continues to push up higher here. We were discussing yesterday how it needs to flip the red box to actually go higher. It has done exactly that. So if you're long, what do? You trail your stop loss now below the red box at around 21 cents. That's all you do in a trend following system when you're following the trend up higher. Anyways, here's XRP new all-time high right now, and Dave Portnoy, the famous Jeet, just sold everything 2 weeks ago. Okay, Portnoy is a notorious inverse indicator. Right, we want to do the opposite of what people like him do. But anyways, XRP new all-time highs right now, pretty insane stuff. If we go look at the spot chart, right, if we go look at the spot chart here, whatever. Here we go. We can see this new all-time high on XRP. And yeah, I mean, price discovery, the only thing to be doing is just trailing a stop loss on things like this. Now, other ISO 20022 coins such as Algorand are also starting to break out. It has hit the yearly open, okay? So we were discussing this thing's price action earlier throughout the week, how it's just been going sideways, and it's just started to break out now. Right to the yearly open, it's now pulling back. So let's talk about, is this the time we're going to see a big brutal pullback that's going to flush out a bunch of leverage that has just opened up yesterday? Well, we're certainly in contention to see some type of pullback from here, okay? Why is that? Well, we've now officially run the target on USDT dominance. Tether dominance has now officially made it inside of this 2-day demand zone. This is one we've been waiting for a while now. And with a big move into this 2-day demand zone with no pullbacks, this is a level where we may see this retrace up higher, meaning that we're going to get a pullback across altcoins and Bitcoin, okay? So this is at a big 2-day demand level. Now the thing is, we're also quite close to the lows down here at 3.8%. So it is also a possibility, because of how bullish we are right now, it is also a possibility that we just see USDT dominance come right down here to 3.8. And this 3.8% level has marked the top of this, the top of every single major rally this cycle. Over here in March of 2024 was the first time we made it down to 3.8%. That was the top, March 2024. We also made it here in December of 2024, okay? 7 months ago now. Remember what happened right before Christmas, the middle of December. That was a local top. And then again in January, right on Trump's inauguration day, January 20th, we hit this 3.8% level. That was the top again when we saw this thing rise up extremely high, okay? Into the April lows. Remember the April lows on all the altcoins? This is when USDT dominance was up here. So we're back down at the lows. This has marked the top of the cycle every time at 3.8%, which means that we may see this thing just slice right through this 2-day demand zone and come right down here to 3.8, which is why you should just use trailing stop losses, because we might just get another like 20% pump plus on these altcoins that have already gone up 100% this week, whatever. All right, so we're so risk on that we may just see this come to 3.8, although we are in contention to see this hold as support. So we're going to have to monitor this. We'll have to monitor the situation closely. Also, if you look at stable C.D, I mean, it is in this 1-day demand level, right? We're in this 1-day demand zone. So this is technically also at support, right? Let's just look at this chart objectively. It's at a support resistance flip, this like 6.9% level. This is all of the stable coins in the entire market, and their market cap is 6.88% of the overall crypto market. So anyway, stablecoin dominance is at a big support level, right? Same with USDT plus USDC. Whatever metric you're looking at, they're all at big levels of support. Now, here's ETH BTC. What I want you to notice with Ethereum, Bitcoin, well, this has been uptrending, and we've seen altcoins go absolutely bananas, right? This is what we've been talking about. We need Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin for altcoins to really pump. And notice we've been pumping this week, and altcoins have been going ballistic, okay? So you should see that relationship clearly, how important this chart is. Now, what I want you to notice is how it is at these previous swing high levels from February of 2025 this year. Okay, we are at a major inflection point with this thing continuing to pump. Now, if we end up closing the daily candle above this swing high, which as of right now, it does appear we will do, although there's still a lot of time left for this daily candle, well, we can assume with a daily closure above this that we're going to head higher to the next target. However, we might not go up there in a straight line. Okay, after closing above this swing high today, hopefully we do. We'll have that confirmation later on. But after closing above the swing high, the program always is to look for a pullback and then take it to the next target. So this is a level to be cautious at. All of the major charts are telling us we're kind of in a little, things are really hot, basically. Things are really hot. And, you know, we're at a logical level where we might get a flush out, but we're so bullish, okay? So anyways, ETH BTC above the previous swing high. Logical level to, after we close above, to look for the pullback into key liquidity to take this up to the next target, which is the yearly open at 0.35 Bitcoin per Ethereum. Anyways, total crypto market cap is now approaching $4 trillion. I think 4 trillion and then the 0.27 Fibonacci extension, right? If you just take the previous all-time high from December 2024 to the low in April, our 0.27 Fibonacci extension is here at 4.11% or 4.11 trillion. So the total also coming into its first Fibonacci extension in price discovery. It's not hit yet, which is why I'm saying we may see things continue to pump up a bit higher before we get a pullback. Total 2. Okay, the total 2 is nearing its all-time highs. All right, so still a little bit of room to go here before we really reach this upper end of the supply area, right? The all-time high is 1.7 trillion. We're at 1.48 trillion. We're now coming close to the all-time high supply level, but we haven't made it into it yet, right? It's still around 7% away, which means we may see further pumps into this supply level on the total 2. And up here, we have to be a little bit cautious before the move into price discovery. Total 3 gapping up. Now others right now. There's some levels on others I want to point out to you guys. Okay, this is the crypto market cap outside of the top 10. And here we are at 303 billion. 303. This is the daily time frame. We are in this vertical accumulation currently where we're going up on a staircase. There's been no elevator yet. But with that being said, we are coming into some levels right now. This is the daily time frame, and you can see the fair value gap here that was left behind. If we isolate this, I'll show you on the 10 hour. The 10 hour and the 3 hour time frames, right? Here on the 10 hour, we have these two order blocks, right? So this is just now is a breaker, right? Order blocks left behind this fair value gap. So this is on the 10-hour time frame, and on the 3-hour time frame, we have it up to here at 323 billion. So the point I'm making right now by saying this is others is coming into a little danger zone, but it's not in it yet. There's still more upside before the danger zone on this. So that's our macro total liquidity charts. That's where we're at right now with all of this pumpage. Everything is, approaching some really big resistance levels, or stablecoin dominance is already in support levels. And we're seeing Bitcoin hold strong, continuing to range, while Ethereum is pumping and making fresh highs. So this is the most bullish thing that could possibly happen, is Bitcoin going sideways and Ethereum pumping. Okay, so we're in that currently. Now for Bitcoin, let's go over the levels if we do get a pullback, okay? We want to see Bitcoin continue to rise for sure, or at least hold this range. But if we were to pull back, what I would be looking for is, because we've already exhausted this first demand level at around 115K, if we were to drop, I would be looking between the next level at 113K, and then the bottom one here at 111,000. All right, this is a very big level of demand over here. 113,000 to 111K on Bitcoin. That's our level to look for on a pullback. Now the bull market invalidation, if this was this was the entire altcoin season, which I don't think at all it was, that would be proven correct by Bitcoin going below 107,000 and closing below it on the higher time frames. All right, so if we see Bitcoin come all the way down here, lose the monthly open, and close below it and trade underneath it, that is extreme caution. That is extreme weakness that we don't want to see at all. So your line in the sand, the line that must hold, that cannot give, is $107,000 on Bitcoin. The most logical level to look for a pullback into is 113K to $111,000. I think this will hold if we come into it. Look to long for another move into an all-time high. 113,000 to 111,000. And we cannot go below 107 and close below it. Remember, we still have the CME gap at 115 to around 114. So that needs to get filled. Now on Ethereum. So we are look, this is the weekly candle, guys. Look at the weekly candle. This is just major expansion. 2 weeks, 2 weekly candles to erase 6 months of bearish price action. Now ETH is coming up to the yearly highs, right? The high of the year in January was $3,744. Right? This was the yearly high for 2025. So we're obviously going to make a new yearly high, right? We're going higher than 3,744 bucks. I think that's a given. However, being that this is the yearly high price, there's probably going to be some sellers around these price levels, right? There's probably going to be some sellers. So what happens if there's more sellers than buyers? They're going to push the price down to find a level of demand where the buyers will exceed the sellers again, and then we'll see it continue to rise up. So I'm not calling for the top of this rally. This is going to a new all-time high. It's going to break through 4,000. But I will point out the fact that we are now in the yearly the yearly high supply level. Okay. The highest price of 2025 is just a stone's throw away. We are in supply. So we have to be a little bit cautious and not necessarily get scared, but just be a little bit more defensive up here and probably be a little bit more cautious about aping into market order longs right now. Okay. But overall, beautiful move on Ethereum. Beautiful move at the 2025 highs. Remember, I talked about how we might see USDT dominance slice through this 2-day demand and come right to 3.8. If that happens, we will see ETH go right to 4,000. It will come right up here to 4,000. All right, so we'll keep a close eye on this one. And overall, I mean, it's just very bullish stuff. Okay. What kind of pullback? So yeah, we went over the Bitcoin pullback scenario, right? We're looking for 113 to 111 as a big level of demand. Also the CME gap at 115K. Now here on ETH, this just continues to leave behind a lot of fair value gaps and such. So this 12-hour level at 3,300 to 3,244 has now become a 12-hour breaker. This is now a 12-hour bullish breaker block. So this was just left behind and it's right near the yearly open. So for ETH, this is a big level, right at around $3,300 to look for a pullback into. All right. Not too far away from current price. We're in altcoin season, guys. In altcoin season, we see huge moves with shallow pullbacks. So we can't be looking for too much. And we simply want to continue to catch the moves into new all-time highs. So $3,300, check the 12-hour. You'll see that breaker block that was just left behind. That is the level to look for ETH on pullbacks, okay? Now let's look at Dogecoin. So Doge is now coming into the May highs over here. Remember, the yearly open for Dogecoin is 30 cents, guys. Okay? This is going to run the targets. It is going to run the targets. It's at 24 now. So again, we flipped this red box, which was what we needed to flip to go higher. We've now done that. So I would say if you're long, if you're still holding longs, take partial profits, move your stop loss to the bottom of this red box, which is going to be basically 20 and a half to 21 cents. Okay, just move that stop. If it comes down, you get stopped out. Okay, you're in profit, and then you can just look to compound and re-enter to catch the move up. All right, this is just a trend following market right now. All we're trying to do is follow the trend and continue to catch these moves up higher. Now, guys, it's really important that you get inside of the new group on Blofin. If you're not in that yet. Okay, I've started to share some trades inside of the Telegram group now. Okay, so if you're not in this Telegram group, I recommend you get in. You don't need to pay anything, okay, but you need to sign up to Blofin with my affiliate link using the link in the description down below. And then you can use the next Telegram link to communicate with the Telegram bot. You put in your user ID. And if you do it correctly, you should get admitted. If you have any issues, send me a DM on Telegram at CCell34. But yeah, we started to post some trades in here. And the first one we shared swarms earlier inside of the Mastermind. Neo first called it. Absolutely crushing it in here. As you can see. However, we haven't broken out yet. Okay, this is still on the daily time frame. Look at this chart. So, I mean, my thought process is pretty simple. 1 day demand block. Right, 1 day demand block. Price closed above the previous swing high. This is such a textbook setup, guys. It is so textbook. Close above the previous swing high here. Beautiful. That tells us we are bullish. We want to buy the pullback. Okay, so what happens? Price pulls back into that fresh 1 day demand zone. Also the monthly open. We have a bounce. Okay, we come back in and we make a higher low. We make a higher low now. Okay, this is just a consolidation. And we're looking for the expansive move. All right. So anyways, this trade is from our earlier entries in the Masterminds at the start of the week, it's up significantly, over 10%, but it's just slightly up now from the entry I just shared. We're looking for this one to expand. Now, the thing is that this has a market cap of 25 million, 26 million market cap. But I want to point out to you something, okay? If you go on coinmarketcap.com, you click on markets, all right? It shows you where it's listed. Click on centralized exchange, click on perpetual. Look at the volume that we're seeing on this coin. Look at the volume that we're seeing. The perpetual futures volume on Binance in the past 24 hours is 29.3 million. Market cap's 26. Qcoin 3 million, OKX 10 million, Bybit 6.5 million, Gate 5 million, BitGet 9.3 million, MEXC 2 million. The volume on this coin is insanely high. So I am basically like all these random exchanges as well, all these random like Chinese and Korean exchanges, really high volume for this coin. 10 million, 11 million, 12 million, $15 million of 24-hour volume. So I am simply looking for the Binance cartel to pump the shit out of this coin. All right. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, guys, if you want timely updates on this as well as more trades, you know what to do. You got to get in the Blofin Crypto Empire Telegram group by signing up to Blofin and using the bot down below. But anyways, yeah, I mean, this is a good setup on a low market cap coin. But the thing is the volume. The volume is high. So that makes me want to trade it because whales are trading it. And I just want to go with the whales. That's all we're trying to do is swim with the whales. Let's see. I mean, all these low cap shitters are kind of pumping right now. Another one is Sparks SPK that we shared earlier in the Mastermind, right? Also starting to move up, breaking the trend line, retesting and going. So this is another one up like 12% or so, right? 9.7%. But overall, some low cap coins that we're trading right now, as well as everything else, and spot positions. Now, something like Tau is in an interesting spot because it hit the yearly open at 443, and now it's in this consolidation. So we'll see if this was the pullback it gave down to the low 400s. I want to make it quite clear. This level where I put the stop loss, we set this trade up on the live stream on Sunday, if you guys recall, right? On the Sunday live stream, it's Friday now, but a few days ago, we looked at this and we said we want to long it, okay? And we took the momentum breakout of the daily trendline break. Now the stop loss is put at a big level. The stop loss is put at 383. This is a major support resistance flip. There's also a 1 day demand zone coming into play at 393 down to like 383. So this level is your pullback spot. 380 down to around, just below 400 to 380. This is the level that you want to be a buyer at if we come into here. All right. Big support resistance flip. So if you see Tau below 400 again, look to be a buyer and not a seller. Right? I shouldn't be lagging right now. Hopefully I'm not lagging. Hopefully we are not lagging. People talking about Qubic as well. Yes, guys, Qubic is also breaking out. It's finally time, it appears. It is finally time. Here's Qubic on the weekly time frame. Finally, we have some action. We have some life. And we are looking for this to clear this bull flag and head to higher targets. Qubic is another one where it's interesting. If you check the CEX and the perps. So the 24-hour volume on Qubic is significantly lower than something like Swarms, right? Which is why Qubic is a spot position and we're using futures for something like Swarms. These are things we want to look at. So anyways, the volume on this 24 hours is not much at all. All right, so we always want to check that. That's why we're in a Swarms long and we're holding Qubic spot only. But I mean, you could leverage it, but I would rather just hold spot. I mean, look at Axie, right? Axie breaking out now, AXS. Okay, we talked about this one at length, pre-breakout, right? Remember, everyone can shout from the rooftops when it's pumping, but not many people want to talk about it down here. We were talking about it down here. I mean, gaming still hasn't really percolated up like DeFi has or like ISO 20022 coins have, but I think that we'll see a rotation soon enough. Let's see if we have any good questions right now, guys. Smash up the like button, everyone. Smash up that like button. When do you think we swap to mid and low caps from large caps? And yeah, I think like in August for sure we can look for this heat period, this crazy bullish period to come to a conclusion. So yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen the rotation into small caps just yet. It's starting, but it's not really too big. Look at others, right? Look at others. It's been grinding up, but it hasn't moved like, say, something like ETH right now, right? This is a pump. This is a grind up. Okay, so the low caps are just grinding up while the large caps are really experiencing the pump. We should see that rotation soon, ideally. And with Bitcoin dominance continuing to drop, that adds further clarification that we'll see a rotation into the smaller market cap coins. Anyway, shout out to Semi187, Cryptomaniac 925, C Don't Care, we got Ringo 37, The Albert, what is up? Fiat Hater, what's up? And Zoran, Crypto Made Me Rich, what's going on, brother? Shane Stardom as well. Portnoy is such a... Yes, sir. Most bullish AI coin besides Tau? Question from Georgios. So Qubic, Swarms is AI. PHB is another AI coin. Low cap shitcoin PHB. There's many out there, but Tau and Qubic are my main horses in the AI race. Render is also a very good option. Jiminy Cricket says, do a face reveal. This is my face, brother. This is my face. So if you entered spot ETH at 1700 and you don't know when to take profits, here's what you should do. Okay? At this point in time, you should have your stop loss trailed underneath this low at like $2,900. All right, trail your stop loss here. And just continue to ride the trend up. You can take partial profits like 20%, 25% up here at this price because you're up huge. You're up over 100%. right? You're up 100% plus. So yeah, I would say take partial profits, trail your stop loss, move it to around 2,900, and just let the pump continue. Take more profits at, say, 4K, and then you can look for the all-time high. But you don't want to give up that amazing position entry you have. You want to hold on to that tight. So anyways, guys, like I said in the beginning of this live stream, new program here at Crypto Empire. Throughout the week, we're going to be doing more frequent live streams, shorter time periods, but more frequently. Okay, that means more value right to you guys, right to your fingertips in a more timely manner. All right, it does mean I'm going to be, say, not going over live chat questions of random meme coins. I'm going to be doing that much less, except for the Sunday live stream. Hope you understand. Don't take it personally. It's not personal at all. We're just changing the program here at Crypto Empire to make it better for everyone that watches this channel. So I appreciate all of your support. Smash the like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. All right, one more we'll check is SEI before we wrap up, and we'll be live again later. So the pullback level we've had marked out is 29 cents. All right, this was just a daily behind. There's demand. So I would say that I wouldn't do anything here. I would just look for a pullback down to around 30 to 29 cents on SEI. All right, remember, we're close to the danger zone. We're in the danger zone on stablecoin dominance. We're close to it on total 2, total 3, others, etc. Others, some big levels coming in at 320 billion. Mark that, 320 billion on others.